Alright, so I got an 81 Mercedes. This is a turbo diesel. It's a 5-cylinder, 300 SD. It's pretty clean. It's actually really no rust on the doors, besides just here a little bit, but you guys can see that. But yeah, just a little bit of rust there. But yeah, no rust on the doors. The underbody is like all undercoated, which is nice. So rust proofed for the Wisconsin weather. Oh, so speaking, what a pain in the butt. I'll go over this, but yeah, if you look here on the ignition switch, I had to drill big time, drill the whole ignition switch out so I can turn it. I'm gonna try starting it up try actually starting it up. So I'm gonna actually try starting this up. I got it to so it can go on to the on position. I still got to get the rest of the key in there. I got another ignition switch sitting over there in the seat, as you can see. But yeah, it has a little bit of leakage on top of the roof there, but not too bad. If you look here, the windshield, this is all dry rotted, so I'll have to have this replaced. Great place across the street from the police station does it. They did a good job on my Toyota windshield way back. But yeah, it needs to be cleaned. I mean, look at it. All the seats need to come out. But yeah, it definitely needs some tires. If you can see, those things are shot. But yeah, I mean, it'll clean up and wax up pretty nice, if you think about it. But yeah, here's the front of it. Yeah, what a pain in the butt getting the hood open. It's been sitting since 2016, and it's year 2023. So it's been sitting some time. So what I got a flat tire on that side too, obviously. But yeah, pretty clean underneath. I don't know if you guys can see. This is all dirt, so this will just all come off. Clean up pretty good. So like I said, it's been sitting. The door's closed. Nice and solid too. It's even got a CD tape deck. And surprisingly, the dash is not all cracked up for sitting outside. If you take a look at the dash. But it smells like Grandma's basement, that's for sure. If you know what that smell smells like. As you would always say. Not necessarily my grandma's basement smells, but yeah. So yeah, it definitely needs some detail big time. Got spider webs all living up in here. Notice there's some ants running around too. I was thinking maybe I'll just bomb it, but there was some leakage actually getting into the trunk. As you can see, it's starting to rot out right here, but I opened the trunk. We can take a look at the trunk. It actually opens up pretty nice, but yeah, the seal's not holding any water in, so there was actually, see, look at, get a couple drops. It was just a drop, but yeah, water just started gushing out of these holes here at the top here, so it's probably like the drain case that happens. I don't know. I mean, look at how that sounds. But yeah, if we take a look inside, you got like 147. Not bad for mileage, especially on a diesel. So let's pop the hood. I'll explain what I'm gonna be doing, but I might have to do it probably off camera. I'm gonna pop this up. 2 latches. But yeah, here's under the hood. I mean, we got a T3 there, turbo, which is good because you can get rebuild kits for them and stuff. But yeah, this all cleaned up pretty good. I mean, look at what's all on the roof. But yeah, so there's the engine. It definitely needs some cleaning. Old school tech. I believe that's what that's for. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing here, to be explaining what I'm going to be doing. And the sun's starting to kick out, but we got this fuel line that goes in here. See this right here? This thing is dirty. That's our fuel filter. As you can see, that's our fuel filter. So we're going to have to replace that. I'm going to take off the line from there and feed another line onto that one from a jug. And then we're going to take this is like the return line right here. Take this return line, disconnect this return line here. That's going down here to this top one. That one's going to the bottom, so that's our fuel going in. I don't know, but it doesn't make sense. You figure this would be the fuel in. You would think so, going into the filter, so you prevent anything going into the engine. But I guess in this case it's opposite. But yeah, I got a new fuel filter too. So that's what I got in the trunk. So I got obviously some diesel. Got a couple little goodies. Especially Coca-Cola there. But yeah, I got some starting fluid. Some Lucas. They're pretty reasonable with their prices. And then I got a fuel filter there to replace that, and some hose and some clamps. So what I gotta do is move that over there, take the battery out, take that container out, put the battery in there. It looks like it's still full of fluids, believe it or not. If we look down in here, well, you can't see it, but there's a little bit of fluid in there. You can see it's darker. So what's crazy is, you figure this thing would have, for being an old school car like this, you would think it would have a radiator cap, That's kind of crazy, if you ask me. But yeah, T3s, you know, I've had them in my Mercurs XR4 TIs. I've owned a couple of those back in the day. I had one that you could eat off the engine. Drove it right into the junkyard because took a T5 out of a 92 Ford Mustang and put that in the Mercur because I took the 3-speed out that I rebuilt like twice. Just wasn't worth it. Put a stick shift in and converted the car into a stick shift. It was awesome. But yeah, I rebuilt the T3s before the turbo, so familiar with that. That looks like we got some leakage there. Obviously the shaft, and you got some valve cover, some blowout maybe. That's probably leakage from there, but you got obviously valve cover gasket, which is just simple. I mean, look how, where's the power stuff for this? There ain't none. It's just you got all vacuum hoses, high pressure pump. Your pump runs off the engine. You know, I mean, it's just crazy. There's no electronics. You have room to work on stuff. You can get at stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to disconnect that fuel filter there, bypass that stuff. I'm gonna take off. Obviously, we're gonna take that off because that fuel filter looks like it's never been changed, maybe original. So we could get at that by changing this bolt right here, just by loosening that bolt. It'll kind of free that up. That bolt's probably gonna be on there. Might have to remove that hose right there just to be able to get the socket on there, but we should be able to get past it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Replace the fuel filter, disconnect the lines, fuel pump, rig up lines to the intake and out with some fuel in there, and I'm gonna see if I could actually spit if there's anything in the gas. I don't know. I haven't put any power to the car. So first step, put battery in. Second step, disconnect these lines and actually get to work. Quit slacking. But yeah, I mean, this car is just really, really clean after I give it some TLC. Definitely give it a pressure washing, but he said it smoked too. You know, I'm not gonna worry about putting the air cleaner on. I have the air cleaner and everything. I'm cleaning that up because it was a little bit of oil. Because there wasn't a PVC pipe on there that spits the oil back into the engine for some reason, and that's why you see all this build up right here. Is because of the PCB not being in place of the air filter system. It kind of sits on tungsten and dumps it back into the actual system, you know, to burn it off. And obviously that's not in play, which is bad too. Hopefully don't cause no issues, but before I even try cranking it over, I'm gonna try to get a socket right here on this bolt preferably. If not, I'm gonna have to go down underneath the crank, try spinning the crank over just to see, make sure it's not frozen. But alright, so I'm back. I got all the fuel lines hooked up how I want. So I'm gonna have this fuel line right here. I don't got my gloves on, but so I'm gonna have this fuel line right here. It's going into the pump. It's gonna be sucking out fluid. I'm gonna have this jar right here. I got some diesel fuel. And then I have the return line from the filter. So all I gotta do is I gotta change that filter now. I can stick the bottle, sit right down there. I could run it on that to get it started. I actually turned over right here. I put a socket here. I had to move this line over just a little bit because it was in the way. It was like right here. So I had to loosen this out, move this over, and then actually put a socket on there, and then my other hand over here, putting pressure on here to get it free. So I spun the engine around probably about 5 times, full rotations. And it was kind of seized up a little bit. It was kind of hard. It's been sitting since 2016, so figured I would do that first, free it up. But yeah, we got the sun going down. Perfect weather to be working on it. Yeah, so here I want to show you. Okay, so that's the color of the diesel, as you guys can see. Right? Looks like cooking oil almost, right? This is the stuff that was coming out of the line from the tank. I swear it's not Coca-Cola, you guys. Look how nasty that stuff is. We'll get it against the sun. Can't even see through it. I got the sun right there. Or it's being blocked, but yeah, can't even see through it. So yeah. And the smell, it doesn't even smell like diesel. It just smells like, I don't know, just like a liquid almost. There ain't no smell to it. But yeah, you've seen the color of that versus that. It's not Coca-Cola. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to pump out the tank or drain it. But yeah, about to ready to fire it up. Just gotta put the battery in and then try cranking her. Hopefully she starts. I mean, it should, right? It's a diesel. It's an 80s. You got no electronics there. And that fuel filter right there. So I'm gonna replace this fuel filter, put the battery in. I'm gonna fill the fuel filter up with diesel, fresh diesel, and then yeah, I'm gonna have to at some point replace that. But it wasn't really too bad. It's just nasty inside a little bit from that dark diesel. So I'll be back once I try to fire it up. So I'm here with my cuz.
What's going on, everybody?
We're about to ready to see if we can get this Mercedes running here.
Hopefully we can get it started.
I hope so too.
We should. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, we're professionals, right?
Oh yeah.
But
Goes to the max.
let me know if it jumps. Don't stand in front of it, I guess. Here we go. We're gonna try the first start. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray some starting fluid in it first. Give her a little blast. Okay, we got a buzzing noise. That's good. Let those glow bars glow up a little bit. Okay, here we go. You ready? She's purring.
Look at that going.
She's purring.
No shooting oil. Nothing's out. Everything's running nice.
She's running kind of rough.